play the devil's advocate and say that we are a net capital importing country, and therefore if we see dislocation in the banking market, just like we saw in the fourth quarter of 2008 in the global interbank market, then that is going to be the channel through which we are going to be affected.
Yeah, but you look at the proportion of capital import, and we have something like 15 to $20 billion of FI money that comes in. Vis-a-vis our domestic savings of $300 billion plus, $350 billion is our domestic savings. Even if
half
a
of
small
which
part
goes into gold and
fair enough,
property.
so 175. You even remove many other assets, but even a small part of that can easily take care of capital outflow that we have on account of FI.
And a lot of it goes to banks, which then goes to funding the
No doubt about it. I'm saying only a small part of it through insurance companies coming to the market today.
Okay.
And even that can take care. So it's more psychological rather than real impact that India has.
So where do you see the Nifty or the Sensex by year end?
As I said, that if there are global problems, it's not that it will be completely unaffected. We won't see a big fall or a crash, but we'll be still impacted. So I would say that Nifty will find a very strong support at 4,770 on the lower side. When the negative news, obviously it will react, but not so significantly. And on the higher side also, it will have strong resistance at 5,050 and maybe going forward 5,200. So I see Nifty range bound for next 6 months to 12 months, primarily because all said and done, there are concerns on the global front. I'm saying that we will not be impacted so much on the downside, but that will also limit our upside rally. So we'll be range bound in the next 6 to 12 months.
What's the worst case scenario? 4,000 for the index?
See, nothing is impossible. Nobody knows, But if you ask my personal judgment, unlikely.
Okay.
It's very unlikely for Nifty to breach 4,500.
So if the market, if the narrow market is going to be range bound, then are people going to be looking for value in mid caps and small caps? Because we have seen some of that mania taper off.
Yes, I think so. There will be value in small cap and mid cap, and again, sectoral trends will be very different. So, I think the technology stocks, FMCG, pharma, these are sectors that probably will have better opportunities compared to say telecom, real estate, or cement and commodity sectors.
Okay.
And in case of commodities, we are more dependent on the global cues because more or less prices will move in tandem with international prices. So their risk is higher and uncertainties are more. So what we advise our client is maybe prefer you have higher weightage of your portfolio in sectors like say in auto two-wheeler sector or maybe market weightage for banks and technology stocks, mid-cap technology, mid-cap pharma and FMCG.
And underweight on cement and...
Underweight on cement because huge capacity has been created and again there will be tremendous pressure on the margins.
Okay, all right. Telecom, you don't believe that the worst is over?
Telecom, I think the problem is that the competition will become intense. There will be tremendous pricing pressure. And for 3G, most of the companies will end up with huge borrowings and interest costs. So from a shareholder's point of view, there is not much upside with most of the companies.
Still, what's a better story, Bharti?
Amongst all, yes, our analysts, our research recommend that Bharti is relatively better compared to other stocks.
Post June 7th, though, what kind of trades have you been initiating on the oil and gas space, the Reliance majors?
No, we don't initiate any trades, I'm saying. But Reliance is a long-term good proxy for a very core sector on the so oil and gas, as we know that as they have more discovery and more production is a steady long-term portfolio holding and something which can become a core part of the portfolio. If you are part of India's story, then Reliance is too big to be ignored.
Do you think
So it's still an investment theme in the long run?
It's for a large portfolio, it has to be there as a part of the portfolio.
So the $18 billion that RIL, $18 billion of free cash that RIL will be generating for the next 3-4 years, where will they invest all that money?
I think if you look at the track record, they will have plans many times bigger than that.
Right. Banking, what is really your view? Because you say that pretty much market weight.
Yes, banking, now the lending has picked up. The loan book will, credit is taking off, and with 3G also you will see quite a few. With 3G, government debt will move to corporate balance sheets, and obviously there will be higher yield for the banks.
Correct.
And most of the banks in India are sound and they pass through this crisis very well. I mean, they come off very well from this entire global financial crisis that we saw. So I think this sector will do well, and one has to be, select private sector and public sector banks. But on the other hand, there will be tremendous pressure on, there will be government borrowings, the yield will go up, and that would mean that government securities will have to be valued down.
Right.
So there are the factors balance each other.
Give us a good mid-cap name that you like. because it's a good business to own?
I won't know the stocks as such, but I think there are quite a few good banks. Like, in terms of banking, you're saying mid-cap?
No, any mid-cap. Any
Across
mid-cap
sectors.
business that you've recently come
No, I
up
won't have stock.
with.
No, but what about your call on the entire real estate space? Because, there's a whole lot of paper waiting to hit the market. Do you think the market has that kind of appetite? And more importantly, as a brokerage, what are you more bullish on? Is it residential property makers or is it commercial developers that you're bullish on?
See, in terms of sector, still residential sector looks better. But in terms of stock, it's very difficult to find a good stock or a good set of stocks in the real estate sector in Indian context, because most of the real estate companies have huge debt, and the structure of their ownership of land and everything is very complicated, because most of them have a huge labyrinth of subsidiaries and associated companies through which they acquire land and consolidate. So overall, I won't say that this is a sector that one should look at this point in time.
All right. With that, we will have to thank you, Nirmal Jain. Thank you so very much for coming to us and for sharing thoughts on not just your business, but on markets and sectors. Well, that was Nirmal Jain.